Oh my god, it bloody Welcome back to my channel. My name is Skyman Universe, and today we're going to be reacting to episode 7, chapter 15, season 2 of The Mandalorian. You see this face? This is the face of someone who still can't get over last week's episode with Boba Fett. My goodness, like, that episode was just something else entirely. I can't believe what we saw to begin with, but I've watched that episode, I don't know, about 5 times now, and it's just so completely freaking awesome. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. To jump straight in there, totally unexpected as well. Like, we knew Boba Fett was going to make some sort of appearance, but I didn't realize it was going to be so soon. Let alone team up with the Mandalorian to go and now rescue Grogu. It's just incredible. Like, to see him fight there as well, to have the same actor like Jango Fett, to have Jango Fett reference, and then to find out their origins as well. It's just so perfect and well written. Like, it's so amazing. Like, it's like the Cobb Vanth scene at the first episode was amazing. This is amazing. Like, I'm gonna have to do some sort of follow-up when this is all finishes, because there's so many amazing bits in there and reactions where I'm pretty sure I was like, oh my goodness, and just couldn't believe what I was seeing. So these are all like amazing signs for The Mandalorian. The only thing is, with the last episode, is that they said, I was going through the hologram or the episode before, and said they need to break out people for the job to go rescue Grogu, and one of them was that chap from the breakout episode in the first episode. I believe, in my opinion, was the weakest episode, and one I really didn't enjoy that much, and I found the characters really irritating. That so the fact that he's returning, hopefully it's going to be like a blue fish face guy, because I wasn't so keen on him to begin with, but I really warmed him in that episode. But I feel like it's going to be highly unlikely. They're rescuing the guy with the stick pistol thing, who sounds like he's from Boston or New York, like a real deep accent. Looks more like he should be in something in the modern era, like a series or something, or a movie, as opposed to like a Jason Statham kind of action movie, and I don't think he fits in. But if they spend the whole episode trying to break him out, I'm interested to see where they go with that. Like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm skeptical because it surprised me throughout. So in Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, we trust, and I'm sure they'll do it perfectly well. And the fact that Boba Fett is now with them as well is absolutely incredible, and I love that, and I just can't wait to see what they're going to do with it at the moment, how he fits in and what the dynamics are going to be, and the drive around in Slave One too. I mean, what more can you ask for? But apparently today as well, there appears to be a shed ton of Star Wars news. We'll get on to all that at the end, I think, and let you know my thoughts there as well. But without any further ado, cereal, tea, we're all good to go. Oh, I can't believe the Razor Crest got blown up. I forgot about that. That episode was intense.
Julie has returned to you safely. We are in your debt.
I don't want to be reminded of that episode. Unfortunately, I feel like it's going to be reminding me of that episode. It's a black screen for about 10 years. Well, that's a pretty awesome opening shot of Imperial stuff. Alright.
6-7. Please follow.
Stop saying his number. Oh my god.
You have 3 seconds.
You gonna tell me where you're taking me?
Was that
Hello?
Garazeb species? Lizard?
I don't think that's so hard to ask, do you?
Oh my god. Oh my god. You are looking fresh. Oh man, perfect. That is so amazing. Oh, his armor looks sick. It looks so cool. Boba Fett. Oh my god. My eye is like drawn to Boba Fett all the time. That is awesome. That is so cool. To show when the ship. As you wish.
Copy that.
Boba.
Highly volatile and explosive.
Yeah. Kind of like this one, huh?
Boba never took his helmet off. Nah. It's off all the time.
You out.
Everyone
All
looks
right,
Star
Mayfield and I will
Warsy,
swap out for the drivers in the tunnel.
except that
As
guy.
much as I'd like to take a road trip with
I never understand. You hit someone on the head with a helmet on, that'll kill your arm. What's the point of the helmet?
Well, that right there is worth the price of admission.
What if they're gonna have any villages with like aliens in the village?
Pirates, keep driving. I'll take care of.
Oh dear. Convenient. Well, it's pretty cool because he doesn't have his blaster. Probably the best Imperial. That Imperial is awesome. That's pretty good. Wait. Good on TIE pilots. You know the stormtroopers and Empire would be happy about stuff. Put your helmet back on. This is the way. It was really touching because obviously he's doing it for glory. If I didn't hear the stories about him wanting to take his helmet off, then this would be way more meaningful.
What?
Wasn't he from Batman as well?
Designation is transport co-pilot.
What's your name, officer?
We just call him Brown Eyes. Is that right, officer?
Hell,
He's a very unconventional Imperial officer.
Heroes of the Empire.
Yeah.
All heroes of the Empire.
To the Empire.
He's gone up in my estimation. I wasn't actually expecting that. That's quite touching, really. I like that scene. I love you, Boba. Seismic charges. Slave one still sends shivers down my spine. Oh my god, please be a seismic charge. Imagine. Oh my god, bloody yes! Yes, yes, that was amazing. I love that. Thank you so much for doing that. Oh, just little things like that. Anything like to do with the prequels just makes me bloody long live the Empire.
Sir.
you have something I want.
You have something I want.
Means more to me than you will ever know.
I love that. Mob Kid in space. So sure, I was getting heist episode vibes from the first season. But it kind of had that feel with this one. I don't know how, it was good, but it was filled with bits which were really great. And I think that's mainly down to Boba Fett. Again, for me, to see him in brand new armor, which is just so fresh and clean looking, and his whole costume looks amazing now. Because I was looking, where I've watched the previous one so many times, you could see when he's turning around, his armor doesn't fit very well, it's sort of pinging off. But now, to see him in a proper costume, that fits, is yeah, that was amazing. That bit as well with the seismic charge. I was really hoping for that, and the fact they went there and did that, and introduced like another prequel thing there as well. That was amazing. Like, prequel era is what I grew up with. I was 9 years old when The Phantom Menace came out. During that time, I sort of grew up that, so I lived on the prequel Star Wars movies. So to see that like implemented so nicely in The Mandalorian there was such a nice touch, and I love seeing Slave One in there as well. However, that being said, there were some really nice moments in this episode. One of them being, I didn't think I would take to Mayfield as much as I did. When he had that sort of touching moment telling his story and how he felt about the Imperials against whoever it was. And then he decided to shoot the Imperial because he knew they were a bunch of bastards, basically. So I thought that was quite a nice touching moment. And they sort of created a bond between him and the Mandalorian. He respected his taking his helmet off was a massive thing for him, so he said he would never tell it. And there was things like that which I didn't think I would warm to, because basically I thought he was there more sort of comic relief, putting all these stupid jokes out. But instead, I really warmed to him in this episode near the end. To begin with, I was a bit sketchy about, but near the end, I actually quite liked him. And I think if we was to see him again in the future, this is what I'd really think would help him, if he actually had a Star Wars type costume. So instead of him just wearing like clothes you'd pretty much see in like everyday life, and where he's wearing the Stormtrooper armor or the Imperial armor, he looked good like that. I thought he looked really cool, and I think he doesn't even need to have a helmet. But if he wore something cool like that, I think that would really help his character visually, and then he might sort of slot in Star Wars a little bit more. I think when he was wearing the Imperial armor, I thought he looked really cool. So I don't know, if they were to bring him back in the future, then hopefully they actually give him a good costume and not rags. And I'm glad they got rid of that stupid gun thing that he had on him. That was ridiculous as well. I really liked this episode. Of course, it was nothing like last episode, but that's obviously because of Boba Fett, an original Star Wars character. Though there were moments in here, like with the Mandalorian, when he takes off his helmet. I thought that was quite a special moment there as well, because obviously he would never take off his helmet, but he's taking off his helmet because Grogu means that much to him, and he wants to get him back. So he's breaking his whole lifestyle to go and do that. At least I think that was the case there. Though I am wise to the stories that have been around that he wanted to remove his helmet and all that business going on there. So I hope that wasn't written to include that. I hope that was the original part of the story, and it was always going to be like that, because then from that sense it makes the whole story and that point more meaningful between his relationship and with Grogu as well. Grogu, Baby Yoda. But yeah, I think that was their sort of relationship with Mayfield and Mandalorian. I liked that, and at the end, despite I'm not a massive fan of him, and I certainly wasn't in the first season with that episode, which I really didn't like. I don't know what it is in this episode. Like, it was filled with some good moments, some great moments as well, some meaningful moments, but I don't know what it is. Maybe it was the way it was filmed or something. There's some bits in there which I just didn't feel. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel like the rest of the maybe tonally the Mandalorian. Like, I think the fight at the start, a small bit, for example, is when they go past the village with people. There doesn't need to be any humans there in the village whatsoever. And I'd hate to think that was a Kathleen Kennedy checklist of, you have to show diversity, when I really think that planet that they was on, which would make more sense for the pirates, that the pirates was the species on the planet. If you do that, then you expand the Star Wars universe, introduce a new planet with a new species. It doesn't need to be humans on every single planet. I mean, you've got the Empire. The Empire are the bad guys and the invaders of that planet. So it makes it more meaningful as to why the pirates are trying to blow up the thing to get it off the planet, because it's dangerous for them or something like that. It just, small little changes like that, I think, go a long way for me anyway, because I look at what's on screen, but I literally study everything what's behind as well, what's going on behind, and the reasoning behind it as well. And I suppose that's just how it is at the moment, because whereas I would never do that, especially when I was younger, now with modern day Star Wars things, it's so apparent that it's just embedded in my brain, because it's just been so forced to the point where it's obvious. And I don't think it needs to be whatsoever. If the story needs like these aliens there, don't worry about the other humans. Like, no one cares. Like, it's just... And then when you're having an episode where it's a human thing, bring in the humans. Like the last village you had humans. Like every single village has to be incredibly diverse, and I don't see why. Like, surely that takes out the interest of different people's cultures and things. I don't understand that. Like, I'd like to go and see a different culture, and then a different culture enjoy that, and then a different culture enjoy that. I don't know why it has to be mixed all the time. Like places like Tatooine, I believe it's something that everyone goes to, because it's just where all the scumbags go and they're laying low, and all those people who want to hide from stuff in the universe. Like, that makes sense. But in every single village, it starts to make it too familiar, when I think it should be more separated. Because, like, one thing I loved about George Lucas was his Star Wars movies is that each planet was different. Like Camino had Caminoans, you had underwater cities, you had bug planets, everything always seemed different, and like there was something interesting about that culture. But you don't have that interest with these cultures. Like, it's just the standard village they go through, and I'd rather that have been like the pirate village or something, or you see some shady of those aliens, like the shadiness, and they don't like the thing that's going through, which builds up the tension. And then you could see like some heart-filled thing where, I don't know, you see families of the aliens, and they obviously don't like the Empire being there, and then that builds up meaning of the pirates trying to take out the Empire. But then you could argue, I suppose, that why is the Mandalorian killing all these pirates? I think that's probably why I've just come to a revelation of that. So that, for this episode, probably makes sense why there's pirates, a difference between the pirates and the village. But still, introduce more aliens. They're great. And that's what I love about Star Wars, is the aliens, and things like iconic aliens like Rodians, Weequays, Mon Calamares, all of them. And I would never say no to adding more aliens in Star Wars, because it's different and we want to see new things as well. So that's really cool. Just like little things with this, like the music didn't seem like as good, I don't think, as the last one. Like, I've been listening to the soundtrack religiously since the first episode of this season, and there's always those sort of real nice Mandalorian moments in there. This one, it didn't even have it on the title call, so it's just like tiny small things for me. The thing at the end where he sends the message to Moff Gideon, he kind of looks like he's shitting his pants a little bit, so I like that. But I'm interested to see what is going to happen for their standoff, because Moff Gideon has got the dark lightsaber, the dark saber, and Mandalorian hasn't got a lightsaber or anything. So I don't know if he'll be fighting, if Ahsoka might turn up near the end or something. I don't know. My hope is it I think it is the final episode, next one. But my hope for it is to have something to do with when Baby Yoda, Grogu, he was calling out on the Jedi Rock, that maybe someone, a Jedi, I hope, sort of appears, and then that's the cliffhanger for the last episode. I mean, that would be so amazing. I'm really hoping for Luke Skywalker. I don't mind if he's digitally aged, because it will fit in this story. I don't really care so much about the Fallen Order game character, because I haven't played the game. But Ezra Bridger would be quite interesting as well. I know that name's sort of being speculated at the moment, but I feel like maybe not. But then at the same time, why, if they've introduced Clone Wars, why not like Rebels as well? So there's potential with this. But overall, I thought it was a good episode. It was an amazing episode. Like, you saw my reaction on the previous one. That was above and beyond. So there was just a lot of things which I saw on the Lucasfilm Instagram, and it all just seems like they just said, yeah, have all this now. And because the Mandalorian maybe has come to an end, so they want to keep some sort of excitement, momentum or something, or taking direction away from how the Mandalorian has actually saved Star Wars at the moment. I really believe it has saved Star Wars, because if it wasn't for Mandalorian right now, I think it would be exceptionally bleak. And the Mandalorian is solely responsible for piquing Star Wars interest, making you think about it again, and really enjoy the universe again. Because I think a lot of people have just had enough with what has come before. So with the last episode of this, which I think it is the last episode of the next one, there's going to be a massive showdown. And I'm very excited to watch that as well. Hopefully it's going to be some epic, spectacular thing. And aboard Moff Gideon's ship, I mean, it's got to be. And his ship, which I should know the name of, looks so imposing. Even though it's not a full Star Destroyer, it looks imposing. So to see what he's doing with Grogu, I think it's going to be sad. But at the same time, it's going to be satisfying. And I hope there's going to be that cliffhanger at the end. But that's just my thoughts. I'd love to know what your thoughts were with this episode and for the next episode down below. And if you agree with my sort of borderline filler episode, it was cool but not amazing cool. It was a really cool episode, but it's been like this and then this again, and I feel like this didn't really peak that much. I think that's the perfect way to say it. But anyway, my name's Skyman Universe. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Take care of yourself, and remember, the Force will be with you always.